Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to The Gamer Couple. My name's Sam, and as always, I'll be joined by Aiden for today's video. In today's video, we're going to be showing you guys 50 advanced tips to become a god in Fortnite Battle Royale. These are the tips that we've collected and learned from watching the very best at the game, so we wanted to compile them all for an advanced guide to help everyone out. We wanted to thank you guys so much for the massive support on the channel recently, so we've decided to do a giveaway. We'll be giving away 1,000 V-Bucks or Battle Passes to 3 people. To enter the giveaway, all you have to do is comment on this video, subscribe to the channel, and follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter will be the first link down in the description below. Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right on into it. You can now put spike traps on walls and ceilings. This is actually really strong because it's the only silent trap. Putting it behind a door or above someone on the ceiling will make for some really amazing trap kills. Build cover the second you're shot. So many Fortnite players get shot, then look around for what direction it came from. Instead, you should instantly build around you and then check out the situation. Building intimidates a lot of enemies and forces them to counter you. Most of the time, they will freeze up or panic, and you can score yourself a free kill. Rushing bases correctly. Now, a lot of people like to rush bases, but most of the time they do it wrong. The key to rushing a base is to wait until they are in the middle of the building process. While they're building, build up to them with the same material that they're using. If you use the same material, they won't be able to hear you coming. This allows for a really easy jump on someone with their blueprints out. Always stay moving. Fortnite really punishes people who stand still, so always strafe even inside your own base. Build cover when healing, and run, jump, and zigzag while running across the map. Doing all of this will make you have a much higher survivability. Outplaying your enemies in 1v1s. We see a lot of people struggle with 1v1s, and a few tips will greatly increase your odds of winning them. Jumping and shotgun 1v1s makes their head easier to hit. Strafing and AR 1v1s makes you harder to hit. If you have positional advantage, don't push them. They will almost always come to you. And lastly, learn to build fast. Head glitching on a ramp makes your hitbox tiny, giving you the upper hand. Increase your accuracy by crouching. This one is very simple, yet a lot of people still forget to do it. Crouching raises your accuracy greatly and can give a major edge to you in game. Getting to the map faster. Now, most of us know that water trick that lets you release your glider later, making it so you can land faster. But this trick also works at other places on the map as well. Diving above the river, Loot Lake, or any valley will allow you to release your glider sooner than everyone else, giving you that slight edge and making it to a weapon first. Always try to be above people. Having the high ground is the strongest position in the game. It makes you harder to hit, allows for really easy headshots, and gives you the most visibility of your surroundings. Always be on the roofs inside cities, and if you can, build your base on the highest part of the safe zone. Stealing weapons from other players' chests. If you're coming in right behind someone who's breaking through a roof, don't try to beat them to the chest. Instead, wait behind them while they open it. Quickly spam your pickup button while they do, and you will get the gun instead of them. Using an SMG to shoot down supply drops. Light ammo is the most common in the game, and it's easy to get hundreds of rounds. It only takes 3 clips with any SMG to shoot down a drop, plus it doesn't waste any of your valuable resources. Also, having a silenced SMG allows for a much safer approach when going for these drops. Using the RPG for more than just destroying bases. The RPG is so versatile, yet so many people use it for just destroying bases. Use the RPG in mid-range combat for an easy one-shot kill. In squads and duos, you can also rocket ride. Not only is this super fun, but an awesome way to infiltrate the enemy's base as well. Harvest materials without slowing down. To do this, run past a resource with your pickaxe out. Jump, swing, then switch to a weapon mid-air. This allows for a quick swing without losing any of your momentum. Build a ramp before shooting, even if you get the jump on someone. This allows you to fire at them while covering yourself. This can protect you from taking unnecessary damage. Take mini shields over bandages. 25 healing in 2 seconds with a maximum of 250 shields is a lot stronger than a 15 health bandage that takes 5 seconds to use. Running with mini shields and medkits will allow quick heals during poke damage and full heals after a head-on fight. Never panic. A lot of people we see lose games and fights simply because they panic too much. When you panic, your aim becomes shaky and you don't make smart decisions. If you start taking too much damage, just build and then decide what you want to do next with the situation. Marking supply drops. You can shoot a supply drop and damage it to permanently mark it for you. This allows you to always keep track of it even when it's behind a hill or structure. This also lets you know if someone gets to it before you. Shoot through enemy structures as they're building them. All structures are weaker as they're being put up, and they're really easy to shoot through. This actually frazzles your enemy and allows you to get a lot of poke damage in, eventually leading to an easy kill. Landing in the best town. In the game, towns have so many houses to hide in and roofs to take cover behind. As soon as you think everyone's dead, you walk into a random house and die to a camper. If you don't enjoy this happening to you, there's one town that is more skill-based and that is way more wide open. That's Anarchy Acres. Anarchy is really wide open with tons of loot and very little places to hide. We love going here because the fights feel way more fair and you die way less to cheap things. Carrying an SMG for various uses. We all know that it's easy to get ammo for the SMG and that they do a ton of damage, but here's a few more things the SMG is good for. Destroying enemy bases and making them freak out, shooting down and marking supply drops, and last but not least, it's better than people think for damaging players. The Epic SMG is insane. It can mow down people across the map with insane damage and headshot multipliers. Learn to build the zigzag base. This base allows you to take as much damage as the enemy can put out. It's also really good for catching grenades and explosives. First, simply start with a wall, then put a ramp behind it. Repeat this process as many times as you need. If you do this fast enough, the enemy can't break through it by the time that you put it up. This is good for covering you and making the enemy waste tons of ammo. The secret tree in Retail Row. Now we all know that you can land or build onto the top of trees, but in Retail Row there's a tree that you can jump to with no building required. This tree hides you insanely well, and sitting here early on can make for a lot of fun and easy kills. Getting good with the double pump. Now a guy named Daquan, who's an incredible Fortnite player, created this technique. It's when you cycle between 2 pump shotguns every time you shoot. This eliminates the shooting cooldown, giving you a 10 round pump shotgun. This also shoots just as fast as the tactical and does way more damage. Putting roofs over loot. Now we've all been in the situation where we have to leave behind a scar or shield potion, but there's actually an easy fix to this. All you have to do is put a roof over the item. This doesn't always keep it safe, but it's an on-the-go solution that helps a ton later on in the game. Free kills at the start of every game. Now this one is more for fun or if you're just late to the match, but if you ride the battle bus to the end, you can fall with all the other AFK people. This allows for 1 to 2 free kills at the start of every game. Don't always go through the roof. Yes, going through a roof will give you a chance at getting a chest, but shotguns don't come out of chests. Shotguns are always in the downstairs and upstairs of a house, so taking the front door always allows you to get the close quarters 1v1 weapon of choice.
The grenade projectile arc. In the newest patch, they added an arc to the grenade, and a lot of people still aren't using it. The arc allows for perfect throws into the enemy base and makes the grenade so much stronger. Using a jump pad to outrun the storm. If you have a jump pad and the storm is really close to you, simply build a ramp up and place it down. This allows you to fly really fast across the map, easily escaping the storm. Use floors to make big jumps that aren't possible. There are a lot of jumps in the map you can't make just by sprinting and jumping, but if you add a floor to the equation, you can actually clear some really big gaps. Use windows in towns to spot and take out enemy players. Also, be cautious about this yourself. Avoid windows while healing or switching around your inventory. The quick switch. The quick switch is something every good Fortnite player uses. It's when you shoot with a high burst damage weapon like a sniper or pump shotgun and then immediately switch to an AR to finish the kill. This allows tons of damage in a short period of time. Knowing which items to break for the highest amount of materials. The wooden pallets at factories give the most wood, around 40 to 60 per pallet. Cars and semi-trucks give the most metal, around 20 to 30 per vehicle, and rocks give the most brick, around 30 to 60 per stone. The only exception to this is the trees at Moisty Mire, but very few players start there. Seeing through walls. When building a base, you can actually select the building edit option, and this allows you to select tiles and make them transparent. This gives you the advantage if someone comes towards your base. Critical hit resources without moving. If you go up to a breakable object and stand as close as possible, the critical hit marker won't move while swinging. This allows you to harvest everything much faster. Pick up everything at the start of a game. When you first land, you want to pick up everything in your house. Do this so nothing can be used against you in the first fight. When killing someone in Loot Lake, it's almost impossible to find their loot, but if you walk into the water and angle your camera down, you can actually see under the water to decide if the loot is worth going for. Slide down hills backwards for no fall damage. If you have to go down a slanted hill, slide down it backwards while walking into it for no fall damage. If you think the hill is too steep, always build floors while going down to ensure not taking any damage. Down your friend if they're under 30 health. In the first town or after a big fight, someone on your team may be 1 HP. If you don't have an abundance of meds, down them, then revive them so they come back with 30 health. This can save you in a few meds later on. Learn to build the roof base. Most people are getting good at building, but still build simplistic. The roof base helps cover you in all directions and soaks up grenades really well. To do this, build your average square base, then floors all around the top. After that, add roofs to all the floors and this base will provide excellent cover. Establish loot routes. If you don't like landing in the first town every game, find a couple routes that can get you really set up. These should always give you full shields and all the guns you need for the rest of the game. Always play with your favorite guns. Don't let weapon rarity or other people decide what guns are best for you. If you like the burst AR, use it. If you prefer the tactical shotgun, use it. At the end of the day, landing shots is the only thing that matters in this game, and playing with your best weapons will make that happen. Use wooden ramps inside your base. When building a base, you want to make it out of brick or metal, but for the ramps on the inside, just use wood. This allows you to conserve the more important buildables for bases later on. Keep your inventory loadout the same every single game. Keeping your weapons in the same order allows for easy cycling and fast switching in important situations. Nothing is worse than trying to pull out your shotgun and instead pulling out bandages because you didn't organize your inventory right. Don't travel across the map next to a lot of trees and objects. You always want to run on a clear path because nothing will stop you from building and taking cover. When you're next to trees or rocks and someone starts shooting at you, you won't be able to place anything down, resulting in an unlucky death. Work on your awareness. You will have a huge advantage in this game if you are constantly on your toes and aware of things. This means having your volume turned way up so you can hear everything, always jumping to look to your sides and behind you for enemies, and picking up on little things like bushes, open doors, and high ground vantage points. If you pay attention to these things, you will see a huge improvement in your game. Always have explosives. We see a lot of people pass on explosives, but these are the key to winning late game fights. We've lost so many games simply because someone is launching non-stop grenades at our base. Explosives are really strong in this game and they should always be a part of your loadout. Using ramps for mobility and cover on hills. When building ramps up a hill, you can actually protect yourself from people firing down at you. To do this, you want to build ramps above you at the same time as you're running up the hill. This takes a bit of practice, but once you get it down, it'll provide great cover. Use natural cover in beginning towns and peek corners while shooting. It's hard to have materials right at the start, so using a wall, dresser, door, or anything else you can really think of to give you cover will help you from taking damage. Once you find this cover, peek out from behind it, shoot very fast, and go back into it. This is the best way to play 1v1s at the very start of the game. When shooting at an enemy base, don't shoot at the level that they're on. If you have ammo to spare, shoot at the bottom of the structure. They can't repair the bottom, and once you clear all the walls, the whole base will collapse. This leaves them vulnerable and possibly hurt from the fall. Use creative ways to bait people into death. You can leave a door at the bottom of your base with a spike trap on the wall inside. This will make people think they have an easy opening, but will actually just lead them to their death. You can bait people with good loot or camp supply drops as well. Anything that drags people's attention to it will make for easy kills and lots of loot. Realize your mistakes. A lot of people think that they die in cheap ways and that most of their deaths are unlucky, and sometimes they are. But if you want to improve at a game, you have to find your weaknesses. If you know you're bad at building, go to the outskirts and practice. If you know your aim is bad, practice tracking drills to improve. Recording your gameplay and looking back at your mistakes can help you grow a lot, and if you find the weak spots in your game, you will become an even more well-rounded Fortnite player.
Anyway guys, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this video. If you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button below. If you are brand new to the channel, do not forget to subscribe. Thanks so much again for all the overwhelming support recently on the channel. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.